What is up, good people? What is up? How's everybody? I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is well, taking care of themselves, taking care of your family, loving your loved ones. Love bomb your loved ones. How about that? All right, let's jump into it. So I'm going to part opinions with some people who have weighed in on this topic before, and that is, can a man be intimidated by a woman? That is, if a man meets a woman and she has more education and more credentials and more economic, financial, monetary means, is that intimidating to a man? My answer is sometimes. I'm going to part ways with other people. They will say, and I agree with a little bit of the statement I'm going to say, they would say, others have said, that men are not intimidated by a woman's success. They are intimidated by her attitude that comes along with success. And I do agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. So my answer is this: the answer is sometimes. Depending on the man, depending on the situation, the man can be intimidated by that. I think it's absolutely true. I've had people tell me that. So, and in reference here, right, I've got to give a shout out to one of the listeners here. I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, but so I won't. But she asked me in the email, what my thoughts are and wanted me to do a show about this. So here I am doing a show about it, or an episode, or whatever. So I think that the answer is sometimes. I think to a man who's on his game, doing his thing, got a certain level of education, certain level of academic and financial success, maybe he's got a business or two, got a couple of side hustles, doing his thing, particularly if he's got education and money. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. But education and money are really what we're talking. When it comes to intimidation, that's really what we're talking about. We're really talking about education, what your educational level is, and what your academic and what your financial status is. How much money are you making? And that can be intimidating to people. It can be. It doesn't, when there's a blanket statement that men are not intimidated by a woman's success, I don't agree with that. I've met some ladies. A lady came to me when I was in church one time. This is years and years and years ago. I was in church one time. She was trying to holler at me. I know she was. She was trying to holler at me. And she says to me, a lot of guys find me intimidating because I'm in real estate and stuff. And I just told her, listen, yeah, I think you're right. I wasn't intimidated because I think I was a sergeant at the time, making pretty good money. Could make, people think about the police, depending on what state you live in, you can make good money, really, really good money. And if you work a lot of overtime, there's cops making $200,000. They're never home, but whatever. They're making 170, 180, $200,000, depending on how much you want to work. So it can be done. So she was finding it difficult to find somebody on her level, and all that. So yeah, it can be. It is. So that's one type of man. So academically, where's the man at? Where's the man at? Does he have a master's degree? Does he have a doctorate? Those types of men generally would not, obviously, are not going to be intimidated by your success. They're obviously not. I think men can be intimidated also if you are more talented than them. When, again, back to the church world kind of commentary, when I was in church, right, I know a husband and wife, they both were singers. And the husband would try to outdo or outshine the wife. There's an intimidation factor there, right? So, it is a thing. So how would you handle that as a woman? I would leave a guy like that alone. If a man is showing any type of intimidation, I would leave that alone. I would absolutely leave that alone. I would leave him alone. I would try to stroke his ego. I wouldn't try to do any of that. I think all that is admirable. If you want to do that, you want to stroke his ego, make him feel good, let him know it's not that big of a deal. I would leave it, but I think it's admirable that you want to do that. But ultimately, I think that if he's displaying these types of things early in the relationship, then I think that you should leave that type of man alone. Because whatever he's got going on between his ears, you don't want it to manifest by him putting his hands on you, belittling you, trying to outshine you, and all that. I talked about a woman one time. It was a show I did, an episode I did about when your family doesn't show up for you. And there was a woman I knew. I was coaching her kids, and she was so heartbroken that she was going to, she was graduating from college, and her husband or boyfriend, I can't remember which one it was, didn't want to go, or actually didn't go or didn't want to go to the graduation. I think he didn't go to the graduation when she graduated from college, and it was a big deal for her. She was one of the first in her family to graduate and all that stuff, so it was really, really big deal. So if you're a woman and you're sensing that, or he's telling you that from jump, I would leave that man alone. I would leave that man alone because he wants to shine. He's got whatever he's got going on, and all that. I also think, from a woman's perspective, let's just say the guy isn't displaying any of those types of activities. I think that you should still push that man to be the best version of himself and to exceed you. I really believe that. I really, honestly believe that. I think that you ought to push that man to excel and to exceed you. Why am I saying that? Why would you say that? Because I don't think that you want. I know women are saying this. I know that this is a thing that's going on. But I really don't think that women generally want a man who's taller than them, better than them. Who is less than them. I think that women want a man who's taller, better than them, more than them. I absolutely believe that. And if you are making more money than your man, if he doesn't have that potential to make more, to be more, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Ebony K. Williams tells the story about I think she was married, and she was already being a lawyer, and her husband or boyfriend at the time was in grad school working on his master's. And eventually she started to resent that man. Eventually she started to resent that man for not paying the bills. So we can talk this talk, we can walk it, we can talk the talk, but we can't walk the walk. I just think that all this type of programming that's going on to try to make it seem like it's okay, and the more women are leading the households and breadwinners, I guarantee you they're not. And there's studies about this. There's studies that really kind of reveal both sides. Some of them are rather old, antiquated, but there have been studies about this, where if the woman is doing more share of the housework as well as being the breadwinner, then the sex stops. How can you? We are programmed differently. We are programmed differently. And if you think that you can achieve, how do I want to put this? If you think that you can override nature and get with a man who's not on your level or greater than your level, I don't even say on your level, I think greater than your level. He's got to be more. He's got to be more than. He's got to be more than. You got to, and listen, if he doesn't have it, maybe he's in grad school now, and maybe when he finishes his master's, he's got a job, and he'll make, whatever the career he's got, he's going to make $250,000 or whatever a year, whatever that's going to be, whatever. But Ebony K. Williams couldn't deal with it for too long. The man's in grad school. He's in grad school's a year and a half. What, master's degree? Year and a half, 18 months? Some are 2 years. Mine was 18 months. 18 months. You couldn't deal with that for 18 months? So listen. If you're a man, So if you're a woman, I think it's admirable that you would want to do that. I think it's good that you would think that you can self-talk yourself into saying, I can do it, I can do that, I can be this, I can do it, but you can't. I would plan on saying that you can't. You don't listen to me. You listen to all these different women, all these different, and you know, we talk about divorce rates and all this type of stuff, and I know people still commenting on the should I get married video again. It's my highest video viewership ever. Thank you. But women who excel and exceed their husbands in getting married in education and academics, education and finances, file for divorce at a higher rate than normal. So if women are filing for divorce, it's 70–80%. Those who are getting their master's degrees and excelling and exceeding their husbands are divorced at a higher rate, 90% or so of those who get divorced. So it's wildly unpopular to say this and to talk like this, but we got to look at facts and data and stuff and say what the truth is. And this is the truth, that this is what's going on. And so you got to be very, very mindful of that. So, and I'm not going to put that on intimidation. I think a lot of times it just comes with the attitude. Men are not intimidated by a woman who is doing her thing. It's the attitude that comes along with it. And if after you get a degree, after you start making a certain amount of money, you start thinking that you're the ish, that you don't got to listen to no man, I don't got to take this, that, and the other. Or you could do better. There's a guy in my office who's been looking at me. All right. All right. So, yes, in some instances, men can actually be intimidated. They can be intimidated. Yeah, let's just call it like it is. If you're a man who's not on your game and on your grind, doing what you got to do, you can be intimidated. So, but a man who's on his game, on his grind, doing his thing, is he necessary? And he doesn't want to talk to you. The reason that he doesn't want to talk to you if you're a boss chick or independent, Miss Independent, is because he doesn't like the attitude that generally comes along with that. He is looking for someone who's more demure, sweet, sensitive, who can, who's feminine, can nurture his kids and his home. That is what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. He's not looking for a boss chick. He's not looking for a power couple. He's not looking for that. Is that 100% of those men? Absolutely not. I guarantee it's like 95 though. I'm sure that you can find some man who's willing to take a boss chick. But the question is, does a boss chick who's overpowering, overbearing, argumentative, non-cooperative, does she like that type of man who's giving her that type of energy? When you look at people like Ebony K. Williams, what kind of man is she attracting? When you look at people like Fannie Willis, what kind of men are they attracting? And can they keep them? Big Al, I know some people. I know people who got this going on and they got that going on. I don't know what's going on in their home, and you don't know what's going on in their home. You don't know how often they're making love and how happy they are, and what their family dynamic like, and how is he feeling emasculated, and is he feeling as if he doesn't have an opinion. And listen, I mean, this is what it is. This is what it is. So, but yes, some people are intimidated. That isn't no, not. That is I saw something. I thought that was yeah. So that's my thoughts. I think that sometimes people can be intimidated. Sometimes people are not, and it is what it is, man. And do you want a man? You got to ask it, and I really wish that women would kind of be honest with themselves and really try to think about this at night and really try to have an honest discussion with themselves, because they say that they want these type of men, more sensitive and this, that, and the other. You know, the more that you boss up, and this is not said enough, I don't think. And maybe it is. Maybe you ladies are talking amongst yourselves. I don't know. But the more you boss up, the more that you boss up, you really limit your pool of viable applicants for love. The more that you boss up, the higher educational status, the higher your socioeconomic status, higher, when the pool gets smaller. And that's just not the same for a man. It's not the same for men. So, I mean, you do what you want. You open up all the businesses you want. You can get 10 PhDs, 5 master's degrees. You can do whatever you want. I mean, it's your world. But there are going to be some men who are going to be intimidated by it, and there's other men who are just not going to like that type of energy. Because I want a woman who's on my dime, on my schedule. If you haven't seen those clips by Ebony K. Williams, you really should watch them. The couple from The Breakfast Club. There's another one. If I can find it, I may clip it on it. Depending on how much work I got to do. But there's one, she's on some panel. All beautiful light-skinned women. One of them is kind of chunky. Beautiful light-skinned women. And they all said, none of us, we're all beautiful, successful women, and none of us are married. None of us are married. What's up with that? And Ebony K. Williams said, listen, the man who went to law school, the man who got his MBA, is not looking for a partner. He's not looking for his equal. Those are her words. She said it makes the pee-pee go boop, boop, boop. That's what she said.
Boss men, they do not desire a financial or an intellectual equal. They are not attracted to it. It is a turn off. The pee-pee goes burp, burp, burp. It does. I'm telling y'all the truth. They did not go to law school, L'Oreal, so they could end up with a peer.
So I just want to bring that to you. Some people are going to be intimidated. Some people are not. So you really got to watch it and all that. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions. What do you think? I gave you what I think a woman should do. A woman should, get away from guys like that. If he's telling you that, or if you're catching those vibes, trust your gut, trust your instinct, and believe what he says, and get away from that man. Because you don't want him putting his hands on you and all that. It's good and honorable that you want to help him and push him. And if he's not in law school or whatever, if he's not trying to finish it up his MBA or master's, that's going to bring in some money, not a master's degree in sewing or whatever, but he's trying to do something, okay, stand by him. But push him, I would say, push him to go past you, because you want that. And you don't want him to become bitter and resentful and later on down the road. Those are my thoughts. All right, so I got to finish this off here. I just spliced this together. So I had another thought here. Let me always finish off with the men here. If you're a man and you feel intimidated, and you think that somebody's better than you and whatever, don't take your anger and frustration out on somebody else. Don't put your hands on somebody else. Don't take to belittling, condescending, negative talk about that person. Oh, you think you're so good because you got this education. You think you're so good because you got this job. You think you're so good because you got X, right? First thing, it's a sign of immaturity, and you really need to really check that if you're a man and you're engaging in those types of behaviors. The next thing you should do is you should level up. Level up your life, your weight, your health, your money, your education. And if you don't want to go to school, and that person is, you don't want to go back to school, then don't worry about it. I mean, if you like your station and status in life, then don't worry about it. But understand this woman that you may want is out of your league, and just deal with it and just move on to somebody else. No need to belittle, be negative, condescending, or put your hands on anybody. No need for any of that. So let me know your thoughts, your opinion. I'm going to leave it out there. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Let me know if I missed anything. If you're a woman, have you dealt with anyone who's been intimidated by you and they've shown intimidating type of thing? Not because they didn't want to date you, because I'm making a distinction. I am making a distinction between somebody who doesn't want to date you because of your attitude and because of what they think may come along with higher status, and them actually telling you, yeah, listen, I don't really like that. You know, it's intimidating. It's two totally different things. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Am I right about this? Am I wrong about this? Are you a man? Have you dealt with intimidation? I highly doubt that it's going to be in the comment section. But have you dealt with that? Do you refuse to date women because they make more money and because they are more have gone further in school? Does that bother you? If so, why? Feel free to tell us anonymously if you want. But all that. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. And as always, much love and peace. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button.